Hello, this is Mallory, and this is going to be a Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. Now, this is now coming down to that month-long tournament. It's now down to the final three, and at this point here, I'm up against someone I've never played up against before. He's actually a fan. He follows the channel a whole bunch, so that's awesome to play against people that watch the channel and stuff. And the big thing here, though, is that he doesn't actually play that often. He used to play back in sixth a whole bunch. Now he kind of came back for this tournament, and I mean, really, he's in the final three, so he's not doing too bad, but definitely it'll be a thing where I'm more used to the game. I know his army better than he does, but something's going to be really nice for me is that I almost never get to play against Orcs and Goblins. It seems that, I'm always the one playing them, but Orcs and Goblins, whereas they used to be very popular in Edmonton and where I'm from here in the meta, they've kind of disappeared. It's mainly just Malorian holding strong with the Orcs and Goblins, but as it is, I'll be playing Dwarves, sneaky Dwarves, and it's going to be Blood and Glory, so again, I'm really good with scenario stuff, but hey, let's see what happens. It's Orcs and Goblins. Crazy time. Alright, so here on the left flank, he's going to have 50 Night Goblins, and in there, the guy holding the squig is going to be a level 4 Night Goblin Great Shaman. Looking at his lines here, he has a big block of like 30 Black Orcs. Then he's going to have his Savage Orc Biggins, and there is a level 1 Shaman with the Shrunken Head. He has a little throwaway unit there of the 20 Night Goblins. And then he has these 3 River Trolls, and also the General, which is going to be a Orc Big Boss on Boar. Now, this is obviously something where right away we both were talking like, yeah, that was a good choice back in 6th. But now in 8th, it just really means that you don't get a lookout, sir, unless you took Cav or something crazy. So, especially in this game here, where it's going to be Blood and Glory, that is going to be very detrimental to him. And one of the things that was kind of neat is, we can see this little beam of sun coming in from the door. And really, looking at this, he positioned this so that the Orc was on the left side. Really, that Orc should have been where that beam of light was. And the reason is because I have a cannon, which I deployed on the left side before he did this. So if he would have deployed his Orc, where, Gork is like doing his flashlights, like, put your boss here, then my cannon would hit the wall and stop. But now I have a straight line to his boss with my cannon. So that's good for me. And over here you have a Mangler Squig, and also you can see like 6 Fanatics. And so clearly from that, it's like, all right, I guess you got 3 in that throwaway unit and 3 over on the other side. Over here, this is what my deployment looks like. So I got the cannon there more to the left, then my warriors with the shields, my BSBs in there, a couple of organ guns, grudge thrower, then the anvil, and then finally on the right side, those 40 warriors with the great weapons are actually inside the building. Finally, off the board, I have some miners. So here we go. We got this little beams of sunlight again, but really what's going to be coming down here is, I couldn't do a complete castle because how things were, but you know what? That's not too bad because I pushed out my organ guns a bit so that even if I win first turn, which I should because I get the +1, then I can start shooting off his guys. And otherwise, yeah, I really plan on killing the General first because he gets no lookout, sir. Once that's down, he'll be down to just 3 banners. He has no BSB. So if I kill 1 unit, then I win. So that's the plan, win by scenario, and we'll see how it goes. So I get first turn, I go to snipe his General, and what do you know? My cannon explodes, so much for that snipe business. And otherwise, yeah, I also try to snipe the General with the Rock Lava, the Grudge Thrower, and that misfired and can't shoot this turn or next. So Gorka's really protecting him. He says you're doing the Orky way, so we'll protect you a little bit here. Otherwise, I did get a little bit of work done because I was able to shoot off the Mangler Squig and also shoot down a few Savage Orcs with my organ gun. Otherwise, I used my anvil onto his trolls in general just to slow them down. And this will be great because, that'll slow down the Black Orcs behind them. Later on, I'll be using my Master in a Challenge on the throwaway Night Goblins to slow down the Savages. And so really overall, I'm just planning to really slow them down, shoot them up, kill the 1 unit, and happy times. So his turn 2, there isn't very much he can do because his Night Goblins on the right fail Animosity, so they just kind of do nothing because they have the charge do nothing, so there you have it. The trolls, they just kind of go up their slow little way. You know, he moves up what he can, but like that's so limiting having those 2 units blocking him. Tries doing some magic to me, and he gets like Gork Fix It on my 1 organ gun, which really isn't that big of a deal, but hey, it's something. My turn too. I got my miners on the right flank. Now, the miners, they cannot deal with those savages by themselves. One of the things I could have also done is try and send them after the night goblins on the left, but with all those fanatics and all those guys, it just wouldn't really work out. So what they're there to do is to try and hopefully make the savages turn around to face them, because really, if I had to pick on one of these units to fight, it'd either be the night goblins or the black orcs. So if I can take the savages out of the equation, that'd be great. Otherwise, if need be, my great weapons have come out of the building, and if they need to tag team the savages, that's what I'm going to do. Otherwise, I move up so I can actually use the Master in a challenge next time. Really tried killing off those trolls and stuff. Did no wounds to the general, but killed all but 1 troll. Also used that rune on them of Wrath and Ruin to slow them down again. So overall, things are looking pretty good. His turn, though, things don't look good for him because he fails stupidity. And that's one of the problems where, you know, he was thinking about this too after, that this was just a really bad spot to have this general, because not only is he not getting a lookout, sir, but he put them here to give the leadership, and he could give the leadership from being within a foot. There's no reason to be up here. But now the trolls failed stupidity. Not only are they going to block the black orcs, but now his general is kind of out of it as well. And then the night goblins here first kind of surprised me because they go and they fail animosity again, but they roll a 6. So they move up those extra 4 inches, which made it so that instead of needing, you know, a 12 to get in, they need to get an 8. And unfortunately for him, he just barely failed. He was close enough, though, to shoot off the fanatics. Nothing went far enough to get to me, but hey, they're all in my face. But at the end of the day, you know what? This is just better for me because I am not going to move up. So this is one of these things where sometimes these fanatics are bad because, you know, if you're a combat army and you're up against a shooting army, this happens where you just basically make a wall of fanatics you have to go through yourself. Overall, at the end of his turn, looks like this. He put Gork Fix It on that 1 organ gun again, and otherwise, yeah, there isn't too much he can really do. He thought about facing my miners with the savages, decided, you know, they wouldn't do that type of thing. And really, yeah, if I charge their flank, that's not going to go well. Okay, so my turn here. Basically, I'm just staying back because I have no reason to move up. I am able to go and destroy the troll and the general with 1 awesome shot from an organ gun shooting like 10 or something. That panics both units of night goblins, so that's really messing up his lines. However, it's almost not a bad thing because all of a sudden now there's nothing blocking his savages. So that's a little bit of a worry. I did some shooting into them, killing very few, but also organ gun killed 1 of the fanatics. So, you know, again, he's down 2 of his points now. If I kill 1 more unit, that's it. But yeah, those savages could make it in now on a 9, and that could be messy. And so on my turn, it's a pretty simple matter where, you know, my guys move up here. I shoot the hell out of the black orcs. This is, you know, the grudge thrower lands on, kills a bunch. One of the organ guns rolls a 10, kills like another 9. The other organ gun misfires and blows up, but no big deal. I use the anvil. I charge in here. They kill 5 of my guys. I completely wipe them out because hooray, hatred for greenskins, and that's the game. So there you have it, a win for the Dwarves. But really, I mean, the guy asked me, like, honestly, really, what was really the problem here? What happened? And the first part of it was a little bit of army list. I mean, most of it was pretty good. I don't know if I'd take river trolls over regular trolls, especially with that small of a unit. However, the big thing was just the general. The general should not have been on a boar. You know, if you just take off that boar, you put on whatever other defensive gear, put him inside the unit, would have been so much better. You know, all of a sudden I need to actually fight him and kill him in order for anything to happen here. But he knew that. He knew that as soon as he made his list and played his first game, he was like, damn it, that's the way this works now. I forgot. So he already kind of knows that. The other thing was the way he deployed. Now, having, of course, again, the general in with the trolls, there's no reason for that. He might have been joined back with his unit there. Hell, I mean, he might have just been not joined at all. Actually, okay, join a unit so I can't kill with an organ gun. But yeah, either way, having him in the trolls was not necessary. The trolls and the other throwaway night goblins should not have been in front of his units. I mean, first of all, my shooting doesn't care whether you have a screening unit or not. I'm not going to be -2 from shooting through you. My organ guns, I love organ guns. They just shoot right through, don't care, they automatically hit. Secondly, like we saw there, if anything ever happens like failed stupidity or failed animosity, or if I use my anvil to slow you down to half speed, that's a big deal. And slowing down 2 units for when normally just be 1. Now, he did have a little bit of a tighter area to deal with because of how, of course, I'm castling and all that. But even then, I really would have had the Night Goblins are there really just to give out Fanatics, probably being just like too wide or something like that, just to really go down, release Fanatics, and then bait or something. And then meanwhile, the trolls too, you know, the trolls don't even need to be 3 wide. They can even save space by going 2+1. And I mean, sure, you're missing out on 1 stomp, but hey, you know, you get the smaller frontage, and you know, you can get all these things together. So I think that's really, you know, if there's any tactical mistakes, it's really just deployment. And once that happened, there wasn't very much he could do. Like I said, I was just slowing him down, shooting him. It was a matter of time before his general died, and then once that happened, I just needed to pick whichever unit I wanted to fight. Didn't want to make it the Savages because that's a hard fight, especially with, you know, with them being big ends and the shrunken head. But you know, another thing I could have done too is, even though we could have released the Fanatics, I could have moved over with my shield guys at BSB, moved towards the Night Goblins, use the anvil to charge in there. And I mean, if I would have broken them as well, like that should be an easy fight to win. Break them, get rid of that banner, over type thing, right? So that's pretty much it. I'll have one more game as part of this whole tournament thing. It's going to be up against the dinosaur guy, and hopefully he gets a better scenario this time. But we'll see you then. Bye.